Let's talk about subqueries and arrays. So I showed you one where it's really simple. You're making a subquery. It's going to return exactly one ID, right? And that works because there's just one result. What happens if there's a set that's coming back? Well, you can do that. There is a data type inside of Postgres called array, which we can use to model a set of results. So let's say, for example, you want to see all the keywords associated with any Star Wars movie. You could do joins, you could have rows, you could do rows per keyword, but that would be really annoying. It'd be you'd get into a pretty hairy query pretty quickly. Hairy query. I don't know why that's never occurred to me before. I'm sure that's not funny to someone else, but at this time of day, it's very funny to me. Anyway, hairy queries. You're going to end up with like this mess, and you're going to have to do some aggregation. It's going to turn into a mess quickly. A subquery with an array constructor can do that a lot better. So let's go ahead and write that all together. I'm going to do it over here because it's going to be just easier to look at. So we're going to select, and we're going to select m.name for movie name, and then we're going to make an array here. This is an array kind of constructor sort of thing from Postgres. You're going to give it a list of rows, and then it's going to turn that into a data type that it can use. So I'm going to select English category names from English category names. That's the name of that view that we made in the previous lesson. Inner join movie keywords mk on mk.category id equals ecn.category id. Cool. Where, not white wine vinaigrette, where m.id equals mk.movieid. Now, notice a fascinating thing here. I have not referenced movie in my subquery. It's going to be outside of the subquery, but I can reference it in the subquery, which that's totally okay. Totally kosher to do. And I'm going to give it a limit of 5. I don't want all of the categories. I just want the first 5. So I'm going to give it a limit of 5 here just to make this a little bit more tame. And then I'm going to call that keywords. And then I'm going to say I want that from movies M, where name I like Star Wars. All right, I'll come back and recap this, but let's run it and make sure that I'm not off my rocker more so than normal. So you can see here I have Star Wars: A New Hope, and it has the first 5 keywords associated with it: prophecy, Bannerhoff, obviously, orphan, good and evil, android, Empire Strikes Back, spoiler alerts, father and son relationship, rebel, bounty hunter, monster, and obviously the classic Schnee, which I do not know what that means. I'm assuming it's German. You can see Clone Wars here. This is probably the TV show, has no categories associated with it. But Empire Episode 1, Die Dunkel Bedrung, has underwater and warrior associated with it. So first of all, curly braces here. That means array in Postgres terms. Some of these that only have one word don't need quotes. The ones that have 2 words, are right, and there's spaces in there, they put quotes around those. And that's what this is. This is an array that we're returning as one top-level data type. And again, you can mess around with this. If I did this with 3, it would obviously give me less keywords. right? So now I'm getting less keywords. Yeah, and again, to call attention to that, we have where MID equals movie ID. Notice the movie here is coming from movies here, not from the subquery, but from the outer query. Totally okay to do it that way. These kind of queries can get really expensive because you can think like, this is not cheap. This has an inner join in it, right? And you can quickly spiral out of controls of doing subqueries within subqueries within subqueries. It depends if you have, a performance tolerance for that.